No, he hasn't had a sniff all night. He's got to go in the box. Who was that to? 20 seconds left? No. Oh. It's all right. Add a minute on. Add a minute on, please, ref. Add a minute on, please. We'll take this. Go add a minute, mate. Fuck, man. Oh, just the way, and then like the Ramsey saves, man. 2 massive saves. Yoros scores. Xerxes, fucking great shout. But we always had this one in the calendar, innit? Newcastle away. It's the one, innit? We felt uneasy. We felt we didn't buy into any of that. Lost the last 3 games, confidence down, mid-table. We didn't buy into any of it. We knew what time it was coming in.
But there's a couple of important things, isn't there? There's one, it's reacting to this from a performance point of view next time, which we won't be able to do this weekend. We've got Villa next.
Yeah.
And also, it's not what people. This is the thing that people always get angry about whenever you lose a game. But we're fortunate because of our other results and other results going our way that it's not the end of the world. It's a massive missed opportunity. Opportunity. Hopefully, we can get to the last gasp. But yeah, Bruno's been off it second half. It is shocking.
There you go, yellow card now as well.
But you know, we're fortunate in the sense that we're still third, still in our hands. We've got Villa next at home. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we're certainly not one to throw the toys out the pram. It's a massive missed opportunity, and it's a massive fumble by United, by Carricks and everyone. But at the same time, you're still third in the league, and you've got to make sure the next one counts.
Got to bounce back, you just got to bounce back. You know what I mean? You've got to beat Villa at home.
In the same, and then also it's one of those ones too, where in the same way that, you know, what we said, winning a certain game doesn't mean, it's Carrick's job. In the same way, losing your first game isn't losing the job either. You know what I mean? I'm sure the overreaction will be ridiculous, but
yeah.
And that's not even toxic positivity. That's just go and look at the table. It's a really poor performance, a really poor result. We've stumbled when we've had a massive opportunity, but it's not like we've blown
wide. Just play wide. Play
Why
wide.
Back there. Ref should blow the whistle for that. Fucking there you go.
Hold that.
Man. Listen, they've eked it out. We've lost 2-1. I'm disappointed. I'm upset. I'm annoyed. We have lost to a stunner, but it shouldn't have come to that. You know, we didn't show enough. Too many players didn't show up. The mentality of the team wasn't good. Willasula scored a great goal. Malacia, listen, kid hasn't played in about 100 years. Didn't know how to get tight. Didn't know what to fucking do. You know what I mean? Lets him in too easy. Bruno makes a shit decision in the transition to even turn that gets us to turn the ball over because he tries to pass it to Cunha. I don't know why. Ramsdale made 2 great saves. It happens. Do you know what I'm saying? It happens. I'm not going to lose my shit over it. I'm annoyed, you know. On a different day, Xerxes scores in the top corner and we're like, wow, we've got bailed out again. There are problems, like I said, because, we know we can't keep winning every single game by the way we were playing. We said if we play like these patches that we're seeing against Palace, against West Ham, we're not going to be able to... not now, Ollie. Not now. We're not going to be able to... sustain that against physically strong teams like that,
Yeah, like I said, I think obviously naturally you're going to get a lot of crashing out and all this kind of stuff. I think it's at moments like this is important to maintain perspective and go, look, that's our first loss since in the Premier League since December 21st, right? We were unbeaten in 2026. It's the manner of it. You're up against 10 men for the majority of the game. You're expected to go there and win. Even though it's a difficult place to go, you're expected to win, and it's a massive missed opportunity. Fortunately, Liverpool slipping up, obviously Chelsea losing against Villa, and we play Villa next. It's still in our hands, and that's why it's not worth crashing out over. But it's not that's why it's not worth crashing out over and there'll be a lot of performative crashing out about it as well. It's really disappointing, but it's probably a bit of a reality check as well, because as we have said, you touched on it, Flex, that the performances haven't been great recently. The results have been. And eventually that will catch up with you, which is why we said this whole, is it sustainable? Well, no, it's not sustainable because we're not going to win every game. We're not going to win every game and stay unbeaten forever. The important thing is I'm seeing the table in front of me now. Man United are third, 51 points, level on points with a Villa side that lost, who we play next. And, we're still in a place where we're in our hand. So it's in our hands. So
yeah,
it's disappointing.
I think
Didn't take advantage. Really, really bad performance. But it's not worth crashing out in the sense that season's over now. We had to win this to get into the Champions League and we've blown it. That's not the case. We're still in control.
I'm fuming, man. I just think that we made a lot of wrong decisions on the pitch. Obviously I think Malacia coming on was only because of obviously the injury to Mazraoui. So that's a bit of bad luck there. But then the luck swings our way. They're at 10 men and you just get shades of obviously past games where 10 men, we should be all over that. For me, there's just no excuse. They're down to 10 men now. Yeah, we're at the tune and whatnot, but they've got 10 men. We're still on a decent run of form. We've got the players on the pitch. We should have done the business. And I think Bruno trying to pass centrally when he could have gone wide, kept the ball. And I'm not trying to just blame it on him and pin it on him, not at all. But because there was a lot happened after that. But again, we're just making stupid decisions when we didn't need to. Yeah, just keep forcing the ball wide. We've got the extra man, and we just didn't play like we had the extra man. I think Flex, you said it a number of times. We just didn't play like we had the extra man. And against the Newcastle side that get up and down for fun, it was always gonna be a tough test. It's just really, really disappointing because I just thought if we could really get a bit of daylight between us and Villa, great. But yeah,
but it's where there's swings and roundabouts, isn't it? And this is where having a good run behind you softens the impact of these type of results, these type of performances. Obviously, I know there will be crash outs. There will be.
I was going to say,
I get that. I'm talking about for me personally.
It's
for everybody else. It's a bit of both. For me personally, you win 6 out of 7, and then in the 8th one you lose. You know what I mean? Okay, cool. It can happen. No problem.
Yeah.
It's
just the fact that it's 10 men, isn't it? I suppose it's 10 men.
It's 10 men.
Yeah.
It's 10 men. It's the lack of urgency. It's the type of performance that you look at and you go, there wasn't enough there. There were some worrying signs. The first half, like I said, was probably a bit closer than people gave it credit for. There was kind of chances both, and we've done well to get back into it. So you go, right, there's 1-1, there's 10 men, let's go for it. You looked at some of Carricks' decisions. I get it. Casemiro might tire, but I think he came off too early. I think Abad came on too late. Xerxes clearly came on too late. That was some of the things that Middlesbrough fans were saying a little bit. Carrick sometimes maybe waits a little bit too long because we're still learning about him. So yeah, I feel like we're still third. We have to look at against 10 men twice before this against Spurs and Palace, we won. Do you know what I mean? So it's not, away at Newcastle, you ain't gonna have it all your own way. You're not. I don't care what anyone says because everything will be about 10 men. It's 10 men, and like I said, the last 2 times we faced 10 men, we've won. Do you know what I mean? So it happens. It happens.
I'm just laughing because some of the crash outs are quite funny. Mad Cobra says, for F's sake, get Dal out the team. He's sabotaging us. JF says, not so easy when you play more than once a week, eh? Mate, no, it's not. We're not playing for the rest of the week, so I don't know. AS says, Flex Bar is going to absolutely roast you, Brev.
What, from below me in the table?
Yeah, from 5th. Yeah, that's the problem.
From 3 points behind me. Yeah. All right, let him.
All Elite says, are the performances still sustainable? Well, again, they weren't. This is why I thought the whole thing in the first place was ridiculous, because they were never sustainable because we were always going to lose. There's no such thing as sustainable in football. If we kept up what we're doing now, which is we're losing every 10 games and the rest we're winning or not losing rather, then that's pretty good as it goes. Football, unfortunately, you lose matches. Obviously you don't want to lose them in this manner, and there's certainly a strong argument to be said this has been coming with some of the performances recently. But the whole idea of was this sustainable thing was ridiculous anyway, because as I mentioned, Michael Carrick's not here to be sustainable. As of right now, he's here till the end of the season. So it's about results, and that's what he didn't get tonight. So he will be criticised for that. Stretford Signal says, we deserve this. Don't exaggerate that you didn't see this coming since Fulham. Are you saying our training changes had no impact on the games? Wake up! Shyam says, we don't win a midweek game. fuck. E1 says Maguire fights with the moving ball quickly. WJ Barrett says KG called it. This was a banana skin, still third. I think, to be fair, I think a lot of people called it.
Yeah, we all said it.
Record,
we all said
you know what I mean?
The game, yeah.
David G says, nothing wrong with the lineup. This result has been coming, struggling to keep the ball last few games. Slow build up, miss Martinez. We're not athletic. Tabarez says, losing to 10 men is diabolical. Since the Spurs game, we've not been at the races. We can get through if we pick ourselves up. Top 6 race is tight AF. Mr. Darkside says, are you giving Carrick the job? I was never giving him the job based off.
Yeah, it hasn't changed.
That's my point.
Nothing's changed before kickoff. Yeah.
Nothing's changed. You know, in the same way that, put it this way, if you'd have asked me that had we won tonight, my answer would be the same, which is, well, wait and see to the end of the season. You know, because in the same way that our season isn't over by this game, it's also not defined by it either. We've still got the work to do. Dwayne says, this is a miracle, man. We never saw this form in 2 years. We go again, Aston Villa, GGMU. And David G says, even though Cass scored, Joelinton and Tonali ran him ragged. Was chasing shadows. Newcastle is a bad matchup. They're so powerful and athletic compared to us.
Yeah. We knew that from ages ago.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but yeah, I mean, again, it's just obviously maybe being a bit blasé about it, but yes, obviously, it's really disappointing. Yes, you lose against 10 men. It's embarrassing. Yes, we knew what we had to do because other people around us dropped points. But I am somewhat comfortable in the sense that I know that it's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? If we're not totally effed. We're not looking at this now going, now we need to rely everyone else to drop points and otherwise we won't qualify for the top 4. There's still a lot of football to go. And that also, by the way, we'll still slip up again this season. Make no mistake.
And so will the other teams. So will Liverpool.
Exactly.
So will Chelsea. Chelsea's next game is Newcastle. So we will lose a game this season still that we don't expect to lose. You know what I mean? Against a team that we're going into it going, we'll win today. And so will the other teams as well. The same way that Liverpool lost to Wolves, there'll be another 2 or 3 results like that for a bunch of the teams, right? This is going to keep going to the end of the season. As much as we wish that it was going to be straightforward, it's not. It's football. You know, it's the Premier League, is what it is. And like I said, I'm definitely not going to do the whole, crash out, this here. You know what I mean? We were always going to lose a game.
Owen, we're shite. The manager is not him. He's back to being a coward again because we lost a game. Fucking hell. We're so dramatic, aren't we? We really are.
You know what I mean? We can't win every game. It was bad. I get it. I'm annoyed, pissed off with it. But context is everything, you know? That you're only as good as the season you're in. You just have to keep pace and keep doing things. And we're about to play a Villa team, obviously not on the weekend, but when we do, that are bang out of form, struggling. Just got battered 4-1. They're in free fall. Not saying it's going to be easy, by the way.
Yeah.
But you win that game, and then all of a sudden, everyone feels happy again. That's how it goes. We've enjoyed 7 games of not losing and 6 wins. And having vibes and posting things and doing surfs and, doing Benjamin Sesko's and Sesko. And we've had it. We've done it. So when you lose a game, you lose a game. Really, it's a privilege.
I tell you, no flex. These criminals, why don't they win every game? These criminals.
Exactly.
I mean, how could they be criminals and then we want perfection from criminals?
Exactly. It's a compliment that we haven't lost a game since December till now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And to be fair, we kind of called it. I think maybe game 5 of Carricks, 3-4. Like we said, we're gonna lose 1 or 2. Do you know what I mean? We're not gonna be perfect all the way through. And this is obviously one of the ones we've lost.
We can't beat 10 men. How are we going to beat 11 Villa players? Same way we beat 10 Crystal Palace players. Same way we beat 10 Spurs players. Same way we beat 11 Arsenal players. 11 City players.
This highlights the hypocrisy of that comment, yeah, because it's football. The same way that we didn't beat 10-man Newcastle tonight, we beat 11-man Man City and 11-man Arsenal.
Exactly.
Football doesn't make sense. We lost to Grimsby earlier this season. We're 3rd in the league. If you try and make sense of it, you will go crazy because it doesn't work like that. That's why Arsenal are going to probably win the league this season. They lost to a team that's going to be in the Championship next season, yeah? Like, it's football. You know what I mean? That's how it goes, right? Or they slip up against those teams, right? It's just how it fucking goes. That's football. That's the Prem.
Football, mate.
It's, you know what I mean? You're not going to win every single time. And I'm sure if we do slip up in the next games, we don't qualify for the Champions League, you'll be here telling everyone how right you were as well. So it'll be great. You'll have your moment. Cool.
Yeah. There you go. Exactly. We just got to dust ourselves down again, like you say, another national break. You know, and go again. That's it. Can't win every single game, bro. Can't. Did you read this one?
I did not.
Meta says Kuna's lack of creativity / willingness to cross is a little worrying. He can do it once or twice, but his first thought is to hold the ball and run. Oh, that's why Michael Carrick also said we're going to need left winger as well. Like, do you know what I mean? Some games it will work, some games it won't. In the first half, he was cooking past Trippier, get a couple shots off, and Bumo should have scored. You know what I mean? It wasn't like we didn't do anything. Like we did, you know, like I said, like Ramsdale pulls off 2 really good saves. Yoro should score, and the one from Xerxes is a really good save. From that point on, you go, all right, just don't lose. Get a point. Get 1 point and get out. And you just go, that place, Toonami, can never go there. St. James is so hard. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We can't keep crying over it. We've got to get past it.
Exactly. You know, just, well, like we said before, unfortunately, everyone's going to have the different reactions and what have you. It's a bit shit now because we don't play till next weekend. So now we're going to have to dwell on this for like 10 days or whatever, which is going to be shit. But,
yeah,
you know, like I said, it is what it is. I mean, are we going to focus on this or whatever? If at the end of the season we qualify for the Champions League, no one cares. You know what I mean? So, and we're still in a position to do that. You know, we haven't, you know, it's not like Man City tonight where they're coming out of there and they're thinking, fuck, we might have just cost ourselves the title or whatever. We're still in a decent position. It is shit, you know, but we're going to lose eventually. You know what I mean?
Thoughts on Tonali tonight? Thoughts on him? Because he had a good game.
Well,
he always does.
You know, to be fair, that whole Newcastle midfield did very well. You know what I mean? The whole Newcastle midfield did very well. You know,
Tonali just didn't. He did exactly what we know he does, where he can get about the pitch and like dominate. Yeah, that's why we want him.
I mean, and make the mistake as well. You know, fuck it, lose the next game against Villa, then you start asking real questions. That you go back to back losses, and you know this is now getting really tight. But we're not there yet. You know what I mean? We're not there yet. And even if that does happen, there will still, as we said, there will be twists and turns. It would be ideal if it was straightforward, wouldn't it? But it won't be.
Yeah.
You know, because it just never works that way, unfortunately. You know.
Yeah.
But
exactly. Stretford Signal says, "Forget losing. It's football." True. Are you worried about how we play? Yeah, I think like you know, since West Ham through to here, we have said it. We've picked up on that. You know what I mean? That we've got to start stepping it up. We've got to start stepping it up because you don't want it to catch up with you. Like Owen said, do you bounce back after this? Do you go on a, you know what I mean? You've got one blip at home, crowd up, let's go for it again. That's what it has to be. Not easy. Not easy.
And also we've got into a territory, haven't we, where because we haven't lost in such a long time, not that we haven't got used to it, but it does sting more, doesn't it? You know what I mean? It does sting more because you're like, fucking hell, and of all the games to lose when you're going up against 10 men, it's shit. You know what I mean? It is shit, but you know, and it is against 10 men, but like I said, it's just, I don't know. I just, you know, Big Dog say here, Owen's talk about the other team not winning while we lost to 10 fucking men. It's just, unless I was in a time what we were 15th last season, and even if like I know in December, if you'd have said in March I'll give you 3rd place and you'll lose your first game in 2026 at the beginning of March, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll take it, you know, because I just think we got to maintain perspective. You know what I mean? It's just
in terms of being worried about the way you play. I think the only things I can kind of like put my finger on is, you know, we have Sesko up top and he scored quite a few headers now, but in that game, he was just null and void of putting the ball in the box. And I think, you know, actually, are we really playing to our striker's strengths? He got nothing that game, absolutely nothing that game. And that's something like I hope that Carrick and his coaching team have picked up on and they can kind of work around that because, you know, Sesko's been a fox in the box with the header in. So, yeah, man, that's just one thing I picked up.
Yeah, exactly. Right. There you go, guys. More reaction coming from myself. Match reaction coming out as well, and player ratings.
I think we missed a couple of super chats, by the way, Flex. Did we read this one? I think El says United fans wanted us to lose just to cuss Carrick. And that man Stan says, let's not overreact. It's a CAC performance and result against 10 men, but it's our first Prem loss since December. We must react against Villa. Which I would agree with, yes.
That's it. Be hungry for it. Get the 10, 12 days off, whatever you're doing. Put the work in and be ready to fucking pounce on Villa. That's what you got to do. I expect a reaction. Do you know what I'm saying? So there you go, guys. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. The winning streak has come to an end, as all good things do. But we're still in a good position. Don't let people gaslight you and trick you out your position into thinking the wheels are coming off, this, that, and the other. Disappointing one, but we move. We go again. Take care, people. We're out of here. See you tomorrow morning. And check out the reactions straight after. Peace.